Zuma has told rural communities in the Eastern Cape to form partnerships with government, and hundreds of people affected by the heavy rains at the Kosovo informal settlement on the Cape Flats are queuing for food and blankets. Ambusisiwa Khadebe with the latest news update. President Jacob Zuma has told rural communities in the Eastern Cape to form partnerships with government to improve their living conditions and get out of poverty. He visited Lady Frere, Tumango and Nkofimvaba as part of his Masibambane Rural Development Initiative. Zuma participated in the milling process in Lady Frere and inspected the dairy farm and crop production. SABC presidential correspondent Ndebo Mokobo reports.
President Zuma's Masibambane Rural Development Initiative is part of the Zero Hunger campaign in the Eastern Cape. It seeks to resuscitate the arid land and assist with irrigation machinery, among others. After visiting the dairy farming and crop production facilities in the Kumanku village earlier this morning, the president promised to reopen the disused crop silos, which used to be the source of food for the greater Transkei region. Again, plans are in the offing to reopen the Kamata train station for locals to transport their products to other parts of the country. President Zuma is also expected to hand over livestock and tractors to beneficiaries later in the day. Ndebo Mokobo for SABC, Nkofimvaba in the Eastern Cape.
Over 23 people have died over the weekend in road accidents. 18 people died in Craddock following a collision between a school minibus and a passenger bus. 4 people died in the Western Cape in 2 separate accidents overnight, and 4 people died near Sasolburg on Friday night. The Department of Transport has appealed on motorists to work together with the government to reduce road accidents. Spokesperson Diani Rikotso.
There is no holiday break for exercising the rules of the road at all times. We urge motorists to continue to observe all rules of the road at all times without exception, because that's the only way in which we can bring down the number of road fatalities that we continue to register on our roads annually. Currently, we're talking about 14,000 a year. We're talking about at least 2,500 every month. We're talking about 1,000 a week. We're talking about 40 people who lose their lives on the road every day.
A family member of Jackie Silebi has confirmed that the former police chief has been discharged from the Steve Biko Academic Hospital in Pretoria. Silebi was discharged yesterday and is currently at home. The family member did not want to give her name. Silebi was released on medical parole on Friday after his wife Anne successfully applied for it on his behalf. Medical Advisory Board Chairperson Victor Ramathisele confirmed that Silebi is terminally ill and in the final stages of renal disease complicated by diabetes. Silebi was sentenced to 15 years imprisonment for corruption in 2010 and his appeal was denied last year, December. He served only 229 days of his sentence, of which most were in the Steve Biko Academic Hospital. And lastly, hundreds of people affected by the heavy rains at the Kosovo informal settlement near Philippi on the Cape Flats are queuing for food and blankets, which are being handed out by a humanitarian organization. Kosovo is one of the worst affected areas following the weekend's heavy rains, which have lashed the Cape Peninsula. Some of the residents say the water, which has entered their shacks, has damaged everything. They say although the blankets delivered by Mustada Finn Foundation will protect them from the cold, a permanent solution needs to be found to their plight. They also say they want to be relocated away from low-lying areas in informal settlements. The city of Cape Town has rendered humanitarian assistance to over 7,000 people in about 12 informal settlements since yesterday. Catch the latest news anytime here on Newsbreak Option 1.